What's up, YouTube? Franchise Sports TV back again with another video. Before I begin, I'm on Rumble now, on the Rumble name FSTV22. Franchise Sports is now on Rumble, so make sure you go check that out for one of my more. It's being used for one of my more spicier joints. But let's begin. So we're traveling across the river to Brooklyn, and we're gonna talk about the greatest Brooklyn Nets, top five Brooklyn Nets. Um, so far in this whole entirety of the NBA, of picking these top five lists, I have picked. Make sure I get this right this time around, because sometimes I be leaving teams out. So this time around, in another edition, I have picked recently the New York Knicks, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Charlotte Hornets, the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, the Denver Nuggets, the Los Angeles Lakers, Phoenix Suns, Houston Rockets, and San Antonio Spurs. So, like I said, the Nets was going to be a little bit difficult. Another ABA team. I got one more with the Pacers next. But like I said, when I pick these players, they go by what they have done for the team, for the organization, also what they have done individually as a player as well. And of course, this is all my opinion. This is not the Bible, so here we go. For the number. Hold up, right quick. Hold up. Pause, right quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah. Before I started talking, all of a sudden my mic's boomstick almost came apart. I don't know why. But anyway, starting at center for the Brooklyn Nets is Brook Lopez. And some people have been like, Brook Lopez. And I try to think and go through all the history of the Nets, all the way back to the ABA days. But Brook Lopez, you had to look at Brook Lopez's resume right quick, because he was drafted. I'm going through Brook Lopez's career so far. We know he's most notable for his time in Milwaukee so far. Currently, I cannot talk today, but for the Brooklyn Nets, he was drafted by the Brooklyn Nets 10th overall in the 2008 draft, first round, out of Stanford, University of Stanford. He's a Cali boy. He had to come off the bench. In his first game off the bench, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks in 25 minutes, but he ended up becoming a starter for the Brooklyn Nets, or New Jersey Nets at the time, I should say, New Jersey Nets. After an injury to Josh Boone, got him out of the lineup, and basically his rookie season, he averaged 13 points a game, 8.1 rebounds, and 1.9 blocks, and played in all 82 games. He was ranked fourth in the NBA in total blocks with 154, and ninth in blocks per game, 1.9, as a rookie, and finished third as a Rookie of the Year voting, and named to the Rookie All-First Team. He was selected as Rookie of the Month twice in the months of January and February, but the Nets would finish 34 and 48. To make things short, that's pretty much his rookie year. For most of Brook Lopez's career in Brooklyn and New Jersey, his sophomore year, 18 points a game, 8.6 rebounds. His third year, 20.4, 19.4 the next year. And when they moved to Brooklyn in 2012, 19.4, 20.7, 17.2, 20.6, 20.5 in his last year with the Brooklyn Nets, and majority playing all the games, except for the 2013-14 season. He only played 17 games, but that was his highest career average in points ever in his whole entire career. And I don't know why. I don't remember why he was out for that long. Let's see here. right foot injury against the 76ers. He was pretty much held out for the remainder of the year. And also during this time, he improved his three-point shooting. Now, most people thought he all of a sudden became a three-point shooter when he joined Milwaukee. But I guess as I did my research, he was slowly becoming a three-point shooter when he was on Brooklyn. I think the coach at the time, who was it at the time? It was Kenny Atkinson, told Lopez to be ready to become a three-point shooting specialist during the training camp before the 2016-17 season. But Brook Lopez, before he left, he didn't leave. Before he was traded to the Lakers, he left the Nets as the career leader in field goals, passing Buck Williams. Became the all-time leader in scoring for the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn Nets history, or Nets history, I should say. He now leads that at 10,044,000 points. He only became the second player in Nets history to score 10,000 points behind Buck Williams. So, Brook Lopez at the center position. At the power forward position, I just mentioned his name, Buck Williams. Not many people probably know about Buck Williams like that. He played during the 80s, most notably for the New Jersey Nets. Known for his rebounding skill, and he wore goggles. His real name is Charles Linwood Buck Williams. But Buck Williams stood at 6 foot. Well, he's still alive, but Buck Williams is 6'8", drafted out of Maryland in 1981. First round, third overall pick by the New Jersey Nets. Played for the New Jersey Nets from 1981 to 1998. Number 52. He was a three-time. I forgot to mention. Go back to Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez only got his only All-Star with the Brooklyn Nets as well. Forgot about that. She had 2 All-Stars. Should have got one last year. But Buck Williams was a 3-time All-Star with the Brooklyn Nets, 82, 83, and 86, all NBA second team. He didn't get a defensive all-first team until he went to the Portland Trailblazers in 1989. But he was an all 2-time NBA second team once, actually, with the New Jersey Nets, and then another time with the Trailblazers. He was part of the all-NBA first team in 82. He was also Rookie of the Year. And like I say, his retired with the Brooklyn Nets. During his entirety of his career, he scored 16,000 points, averaging 12.8 rebounds, grabbing 13,000 rebounds, and 10.0 rebounds averaging. He's not a Hall of Famer, but after doing some research, I didn't really get to see him play too much, but by the time I started watching the NBA, he was pretty much out the door in 98. But he's probably regarded as being one of the best power forwards to ever play for the Nets. From 81 to 89, he averaged mostly around 15 points a game and 12 rebounds, is consistent. His career high in points, 18.3 with the New Jersey Nets in his second to last year, with the Nets playing 70 games. And his highest career rebound average, he did it twice with the Nets. His second year, 12.5, and then the 86-87 season, 12.5. And also, keep in mind, he played 82 games as well. It's a rarity down these days for some reason. But after he left the Nets, his production kind of decreased as he's gotten older. But yeah, he's not a Hall of Famer. In the playoffs, almost the same. He had a career playoff average 24.7 in 1985 playoffs. But who were they bounced out by? They was bounced out by the Pistons, swept in that year. So Buck Williams at the forward. Now, the small forward position. Do we really need to discuss who's going to be at the small forward position for the Nets? No other than Julius Dr. J. Irving. I'm not even going to go into Dr. J because I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to be talked about once again. But I guess we can talk a little bit about Dr. J a little bit. I feel like I'm going to talk about him again in one of these lists. So I'm going to talk briefly. I think we all know how great Dr. J was. But Dr. J's is most notable with his time with the Sixers and with the Nets as well. We all know his career started with the ABA. Actually, not with the ABA. It started with the ABA, but he was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks in 1972. When did the ABA fold? Never mind. But yeah, he was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks, but he ended up playing with the Virginia Squires. Man. I was just thinking, imagine if he would have actually played on the Milwaukee Bucks. They actually been a little decent with Kareem. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, if you know the history of how the NBA rules are, at the time they did not allow teams to draft players who were fewer than 4 years removed from high school. The NBA instituted a hardship rule that allowed players to leave college early, and Julius Erving took advantage of that rule, and he left the University of Massachusetts after his junior year to sign a 4-year deal worth $500K to over 7 years with the Virginia Squires. But he ended up going to the Nets for sorry, voice is getting dry. But he ended up going to the Nets because the Virginia Squires were on bad terms financially, and he signed Erving signed an 8-year deal, cheaper than what he got with the Squires. But yeah, Erving went on to lead the Nets to the first NBA title in 1973-1974, defeating the Utah Stars. And pretty much we know how famous Dr. J became after that. But I'm going to talk about him a little bit more when you get to the 76ers, because I think you guys already know what that's going to. But with the the New York Nets, New Jersey Nets, whatever you want to call them, in 14 games, that's his first season with them. Oh, I'm looking at playoffs. Never mind. Sorry. 84 games, because they did play 84 games in the ABA. He averaged 27.4 points a game. That was his first year on the New York Nets. The 1974-75 season, 27.9. And his last season with the New York Nets before he was shipped off to Philly and played in the NBA, he averaged 29.3 in the 84 games, averaging 38 minutes per game. Jeez, I thought Kobe was playing a lot in his last few years. But he also grabbed 11 rebounds. Dr. J also grabbed a lot of rebounds, which didn't translate. Well, I wouldn't say it didn't translate, but when he was in the ABA, he was a rebounding machine. But when he got to the NBA, his rebounding average decreased by 3 rebounds. But Dr. J, best small forward to ever played for the Nets. Now, his shooting guard and point guard positions was hard to figure out. It was hard to figure out, but I came down to the conclusion of who they should be. And some people might not agree. Like I said, it's my opinion. Some other people might say some other players. But at the shooting guard position for the Nets, I picked Vince Carter. I just did a video on Vince Carter not too long ago saying he should be a Hall of Famer. But Vince Carter played 5 seasons with the New Jersey Nets. And he had the New Jersey Nets in the playoffs as well. During this time with New Jersey, I think I only played 82 games once and played 80 games once in his last year there. But every season with the New Jersey Nets, he was basically the star along with Jason Kidd as well, averaging 27.5 in his first year, 24.2, 25.2 play all 82 games. Next season, he went down 21.3, and then he went down once again 20.8. But he had also had his career high in rebounds and assists with the New Jersey Nets. The 06-07 season, he averaged 6.0 rebounds, his highest, and he repeated it again the next season. But that same season, the 07-08 season, he averaged 5.1 in assists, a career high for him. But those New Jersey teams weren't. They just couldn't get over the top. They kept running into teams like the Cleveland and Miami Heat and all sorts of stuff. But I got to put Vince Carter at the shooting guard position. Now, the point guard position, I thought about it. I said, why is it so hard to pick a point guard? Then I thought about it. I was like, oh my goodness, how did I forget that he even played on this team? And that has to be the very one, Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd, as we all know, was not drafted by the Nets. He was drafted by hopefully my memory serves me right. Yeah, he was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know why I keep thinking he's drafted by the Suns. That's how I was introduced to Jason Kidd. He was already on the Suns by that time. I started watching basketball like that. But like I said, we all know Jason Kidd was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks in '94, first round, second overall pick. After his tenure with the Suns, he was traded for Stephon Marbury, Johnny Newman, and Somalia. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And they put that team around him, New Jersey, because at this time they just got Kenyon Martin in the draft, Kerry Kittles, and Keith Van Horn, along with Richard Jefferson, Jason Collins, Brandon Armstrong. And they put his first year with the New Jersey Nets, Jason Kidd, he led the team to a 52-30 finish. 26 game overall improvement from the previous season. And he also was responsible for leading the team to his first 50-win season in franchise NBA history. And he was voted to the All-NBA first team that year. And finished second behind Tim Duncan MVP voting. Much critics of Tim Duncan winning that MVP said Kidd should have won it. But it is what it is. The Nets will get to the finals for the first time in that same season, beating the Indiana Pacers, Charlotte Hornets. Who did they play the third round? Boston Celtics. That's who they played. The Boston Celtics. But they will lose in 4 to the Lakers, led by Shaq and Kobe, the last of their championships together. But New Jersey, the next season, they would finish 49-33 and reached the finals again. And that was Kidd's highest scoring season, 18.7. Led the league in assists at 8.9. He got to the second NBA team, all NBA second team. Went 6 games with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Nets got a 10-game winning streak, swept the Celtics, and beat the Pistons along the way, but they would lose in 6 games. I always thought the Nets always lost in 5 games to the Spurs, but they lost in 6 games to the Spurs. But pretty much after that, I wouldn't say he became pedestrian, but he didn't really do too much after that. New Jersey couldn't do. They got to the playoffs, but they was just hampered by injuries. One by Kidd himself. He had a microfracture surgery to his knee in the offseason, the 03-04 offseason. They got Vince Carter. But it just, everybody was just always getting hurt. Either it was Vince Carter getting hurt, Richard Jefferson getting hurt. They just couldn't get past, like I said, they couldn't get past the Heat or the Cleveland Cavaliers or anything like that. But in all his years with the New Jersey Nets from 2002 to 2007, Jason Kidd was a perennial player, averaging 19 points his first year. Oh, I did that again. Sorry. averaging 14 points a game his first season. 18 was his career high, like I said before. And he kind of went downhill. I think pretty much after that knee surgery, I think pretty much he was getting out of his prime, because he turned 30 in the 02-03 season, and that knee surgery probably had something to do with that. But he was still a valuable force, because after the 07-08 season, he pretty much went to Dallas, had to strive to there before they ended up winning the ring in Dallas. So Jason Kidd is the starting point guard for this Nets all team. Now, as far as the best player to ever play for the Nets, I'm going to have to say Dr. J. Sorry. It just is what it is. There are some honorable mentions, because there were so many people to pick out of this whole list. You got people like, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Kyrie Irving, Derek Coleman, Kerry Kittles, Keith Van Horn, Richard Jefferson, Kenyon Martin, Rick Barry. I think he only played 2 seasons there. So many others. Bernard King. So many others that played for this team. But those are my 5 that I had to pick. Let me recount them before I log off of here. Brook Lopez, Buck Williams, Dr. J, Vince Carter, and Jason Kidd. But that pretty much concludes my list. And it's going to be a surprise on who I'm going to do next. Maybe not. But anyways, tell me what you guys think.